Hey, welcome to today's news. Baldur's Gate is coming to the Xbox. Windows system settings is getting an update. Does Nvidia still care about gaming GPUs? Hit that subscribe button. Let's get to it. Starting with our top story today, Baldur's Gate 3 is coming to the Xbox. It's just unsure when. In a tweet yesterday, the Larian CEO stated that Baldur's Gate 3 would be coming to both the Series X and the Series 3 Xbox, with one caveat. The split screen will not be in the Series S system. It will have save games that are cross-platform such as Steam and the Series X. This is big news because it was slated to be coming out next year, well after the PlayStation 5's release in September. While they do not have an exact date, they hope to have it by the end of the year so Xbox players can play. This comes after the statements made by Phil Spencer stating that while they want feature parity between the two systems, it just takes a little bit more time and ingenuity to do it, and that Xbox did have ways for developers to do it. Well, it seems that Mr. Spencer has made a turnaround due to the fact that this game is quite large and popular at the time, and has stated that the feature parity is not needed for the split screen. This is making many people wonder, what's the future of the Series S? If they're willing to give Baldur's Gate 3 the pass for the split screen and not have feature parity, what does this mean for other large titles coming forward? Is the Series S going to be dead? Well, Phil Spencer does not believe so. He is vehemently approving of the price point of entry for the Series S, and that many families do not need or probably can afford a Series X. That this is just a gateway. I do believe he's being, honest about this. He is being genuine. Everything that he said beforehand leads to the idea that Xbox Game Pass is the future of Xbox, stating that they don't use console sales as a good marker of how well they're doing, that they look at how many Xbox games are being played and where they're being played. With the release of Game Pass Cloud Gaming, this means that you can still use lower end hardware to play these games. It's unsure that Baldur's Gate 3 would be available day one on Game Pass, but it is probably an eventuality for most game developers to allow their game to be eventually placed on Game Pass for others to try. Now, I have not given up on the Series S. It is probably the best media center that I've had in a long time. It's actually kind of what they wanted the Xbox One launch to be. And I do see a lot of people moving towards something like the Series S, especially since many people are going all digital. I do hope that they actually have a mid-console refresh of the Series S, making it a little bit more powerful, but I'm not sure about that, given that Phil Spencer said that many companies are not making, say, the lower end upgrades that the Series S would need, and if you wait a few years that it would be more powerful hardware focused on the Series X. So tell me what you think. Is this kind of spelling out the doom for the Series S? Or is it just going to be staying around for the long haul, especially since it did get the update with the black version having a larger storage drive? You tell me. Continuing with Microsoft news, Windows 11 is releasing a new update for their settings menu. They're hoping to have a settings homepage using interactive cards that shows you the settings that you use most. This is to simplify their settings program, which is typically very complicated and has multiple layers to it, still including settings features all the way back from Windows XP. Well, I do think it's a good idea that they actually modernize it and simplify it. They will still always have the same issue that companies are using older versions of Windows and need those old versions of the system settings. Also, since it's only going to be showing you in the interactive cards your most used settings, I do believe it will probably be tougher for the average user to find settings when a situation comes up. Some feel that Windows might be able to advertise at least some of their newer features in this update with the interactive cards like they do on the desktop. I think Microsoft is overdue for an overhaul that isn't just so basic like Windows 11. I have used Windows 11 for a couple months now, and it doesn't seem like a very good update from Windows 10, even ignoring all the privacy and data collection issues that they have. They also have a new feature that allows you to back up your PC before using a new PC. It's going to be the Windows Backup app, and it's going to be, again, very basic and not that different from what I see in iCloud and OneDrive, or is it even OneDrive anymore? Basically, it's the same apps, but it should allow you to have the features to keep many applications already in the backup rather than re-downloading when you get a new PC. It will also give you a feature that allows your color scheme to be transferred from each computer you use, and hopefully including portable devices if they ever do something with the Surface Duo again. That's yet to be seen, but Windows is trying. Windows is trying, and I personally feel that they do need a huge upgrade and maybe go the route of Apple and state that you can't use newer operating systems on older hardware. Just saying that they might have to pull the trigger and kind of force companies to update their systems. Only time will tell. So have you wanted the SteamOS experience on your PC? Well, then maybe Brasite is the answer for you. Brasite is a SteamOS 3 clone. It comes out of the gate with basically all the same functionality as SteamOS 3. With its KDE Plasma integration, it allows you to have pretty much all the same desktops and features that you would find on your Steam Deck. Based upon Fedora 38, it differs from SteamOS 3 due to it being based upon Arch Linux. They also have a version for your Steam Deck, which gives you a little bit of the ability to tweak some of your controls, such as the CPU and integration for 32 gigabytes of RAM. Now, I'm not sure why you would want 32 gigabytes of RAM. It's basically more for content creation, but hey, whatever floats your boat. I personally love the idea that you can customize everything you want, and that the Linux community has produced this. This gives you a nice lightweight option for your gaming PC, when especially compared to Windows and the numerous Windows extensions and installers. And quite frankly, I know I'll probably be trying it out because the Steam installer for me, I don't know why, but it always seems to need to be updated, and I hope that this would alleviate that problem for me so much. So give it a try out. I will say this, it's not for typical normal users. You have to be a little bit more experienced because the install can be a little bit complicated. So tell me what you think. And now, Qualcomm is not out of gaming yet. They plan to introduce a new Snapdragon 3X chip later this year. They are focusing on handheld gaming for Android devices. Qualcomm is hoping to diversify their chipsets, with the Snapdragon 1 and Snapdragon 2 going to more lower-end gaming devices. And it's already stated that AO Neo is going to use it in their Pocket S series. Let's look at the specifications. Snapdragon 3X Gen 2 has 8-core Cryo CPU, Adreno A32, Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.3, Wave, and a sub-6 5G Fast Connect 7800. They have a 5G millimeter wave and sub 300 for cellular. They have dual camera support, and they can support up to FHD plus up to 144 Hertz. And yes, they do have ray tracing. You know what? I'm all about this. It's going to allow for more competition in the sector. And quite frankly, if you've never watched one of my videos before, I love competition. It's always great for the consumer, and that's really something that we need in the gaming industry. You know, it's no longer the big three, depending who the big three are. We are seeing a lot of handheld gaming, which was controlled by Nintendo, and kind of my personal favorite way to game, being disrupted right now. And I know Steam Deck has gotten a lot of praise, but the fact that it's brought along all these other, companies trying to clone what they did between Lenovo and Logitech, and now PlayStation with their PlayStation Portable. yeah, this is great. ROG Ally, awesome. Phil Spencer uses it. So yeah, I like this Qualcomm. I hope you succeed. I hope this is actually a very, very good chip and we can see it soon in new devices. Tell me what you think in the comments below. If not, are you really into handheld gaming like I am? It seems like what a lot of people want these days. And I think the Switch and Nintendo have a lot to worry about. Will Nvidia care about gaming GPUs anymore? This is what the gaming community is asking after an earnings report stated that they made $13.5 billion last quarter. This is 101% over the previous quarter and mostly due to AI, or large learning models. Well, this is a tough one because the demand for GPUs in the AI sector is not going away, and it's only going to grow. They will be expected to turn over their product multiple times over throughout the years, and it's starting to wonder, will they even care about gaming GPUs anymore? That's really not their focus. Well, they had a large growth during the pandemic due to high demand of gaming PCs and the crypto boom. It looks like their money is going to be in AI, and many companies are focused on creating their own data centers that allow them to use their own private large language models for business. And people are really starting to wonder, like, will they allocate the resources, the fabs, to make products they typically make about 30% margin on compared to what is believed to be 50% margin on? They are a company that likes to make money. We have seen this, how they've tried to keep the pandemic level prices up. They really do like it. And they have a surplus of gaming GPUs right now. It might be a little while before we see a new one. And quite frankly, gamers aren't buying right now. Many updated during the pandemic, which caused a shortage. And most people do not have the money to upgrade within a few years. I know I don't, and I really wish I could. I could really use the upgrade right now. But this is a strange one because I know some people online have thought that they might split up the company into the gaming side and the AI side. But they might just get rid of it altogether, position AMD as the gaming GPU sector, and maybe push Intel up a little bit if they can continue with their gains in performance. I'm just not sure. I don't see Nvidia leaving money on the table, but if the demand for GPUs for artificial intelligence, large language models, I know they're being used interchangeably, continues to grow, they might actually leave the gaming GPU sector. Tell me what you think. Do you think that we will have a day where there's no Nvidia gaming GPUs? Do you think they'll stick around? Do you think that they'll, split off the company? Is this just people warning, ringing the fire bell, dog whistling, whatever you call it? I'm sure none of those terms fit what I'm talking about. Do you think everything will be fine? With election season already here, we had the Republican primary debate the other day. We're going to have to hear a lot of news about politics. And let me start you off with a silly, scary one. X banned the links of a political action group for the Democratic Party. Now, before you start having conspiracy theories, this was an accident and they're trying to fix a bug. But it calls into question the reliability of social media when it comes to politics. Are we going to see what happened in our previous elections that with Facebook and data manipulation and advertising manipulation? I am willing to give X the benefit of the doubt right now, considering all the changes that have occurred at the company. But it does not bode well, especially since X's community has been all over the place recently with the growth of racist comments, conspiracy theories, and it seems an owner who just does not care about any of those things. While he has spouted that he is for free speech, it does not seem that way, considering those who have spoke against Mr. Musk have receiving bans and lost the ability to show up on For You pages. This is also occurring due to the fact that who is willing to pay for these things? And if you don't have that blue check mark, you're most likely delegated to the end of the feed or not shown at all. It's worrisome. It is very worrisome because with the integration of large language models and deep fakes, you gotta wonder what's going to happen with social media with this election. What information is going to get out there? While this news segment is not political at all, I'm not giving you my stance, but major things are happening, especially with the indictment of the former President Trump in Georgia. We need systems that work. We really do. We need systems that fact check. We need systems that provide access to information. And it is silly that this is a bug. It's silly that it happened on a action group that pretty much shows you where you can support, where you can help out. Nothing actually too political other than they're backed by the Democratic Party or they back the Democratic Party, whichever way you want to look at it. It's a silly, scary thing because if it can fail for reasons that aren't heavily political, it can fail for anyone. And this also comes after Elon Musk saying that links will no longer have titles and summaries in them. I think that's one of X's best features, that you can kind of see what you're looking at before you click on it. So, do you think that this is going to be a major problem in the upcoming election? Do you think that tech has a responsibility, even though that they're private companies, to provide the most accurate information? Do you think this is going to affect the outcomes and people's beliefs? I know I'm probably going to be staying away from online political talk unless it has something to actually do with the tech, such as links being broken. YouTube will allow you to hum to find out what song is stuck in your head. YouTube is introducing a Shazam-like feature where you can either hum bars of the song that you think you know or play 3 to 4 second clips and it will give you what they think is the answer to the song that you're looking up. Now, this is not the first time this feature has been introduced. It was introduced into Google One a little while ago, but apparently this one is a lot faster. I cannot wait to see this actually in action because a lot of times this was a joke on many sitcoms while I was growing up. And I know that I probably will not find a song that I am looking for based upon humming because I am not musically inclined. And it'll probably end up being Gangster's Paradise because that is the song that's always stuck in my head. But hey, if you are a little bit musically inclined and you're not an actual musician or did choir and probably know whatever song possible, this might be for you. I hope this video was for you. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button. Leave comments below about anything that I've discussed. And again, you have made it to the end. You're one of the few people who do, which makes you one of the most awesomest person in the world. We love you around here. Have a good one. Bye.